The Westland Wyvern is a British single-seat carrier-based multi-role aircraft built by Westland Aircraft and put into mass production in the 1950s. The Wyvern began as a Westland project for a naval strike fighter with the engine located behind the pilot, driving a propeller in the nose via a long shaft that passed under the cockpit floor, similar to the Bell P-39. This enabled the pilot to be located in a position that conferred the best possible visibility over the nose for carrier operations. Westland's Wyvern strike fighter was quite unique. Its development took quite a long time, some 10 years, with as result that by the time it was operational, it was already an anachronism. In spite of this, it was used in battle during the Suez Campaign. Being the last propeller-driven naval strike aircraft of the Fleet Air Arm, it was later replaced by the Blackburn Buccaneer and soon forgotten. The Wyvern was produced in limited numbers only, about 127 units, and also was Westland's last fixed-wing aircraft. By the end of World War II, the Royal Air Force was confident it needed early jets in combat roles. The Royal Navy, on the other hand, was more cautious. At the time, jets' high landing speed caused a lot of skepticism regarding the prospects of their use as carrier-based aircraft, and jump jets, which could later become so common in British service, simply didn't exist yet. So the Admiralty green-lighted the development of a new carrier-based propeller combat plane intended for use as attack aircraft, as well as in other roles. The development of the Wyvern, which was named after a legendary dragon-like creature, took a rather long time with some significant changes to the design made in the process. Although the first prototype flew in 1946, the aircraft's definitive TF4, later redesignated as AS4, was finally introduced into service early in 1953 and obtained clearance for carrier operations another year later. With a loaded weight of almost 22,000 pounds, the aircraft was larger and heavier than any single-seat fighter the Royal Navy had previously used. While the initial design envisaged the use of 3,200 horsepower Rolls-Royce Eagle 22 piston engines, production aircraft were fitted with 3,560 horsepower Armstrong Siddeley Python turboprops instead. This mighty power plant was driven two 4-bladed contra-rotating propellers, giving the Wyvern a top speed of 380 miles per hour. Another novel feature of the aircraft was the Martin Baker Mark 1B ejection seat. In addition to the basic armament of 4 wing-mounted 20mm cannons, the Wyvern could carry up to 16 rockets or 3,000 pounds of bombs. It could also be used as a torpedo bomber, carrying a 20-inch torpedo under the fuselage. For use from aircraft carriers, the new strike fighter was fitted with an arrestor hook in the tail and large telescopic hydraulic struts for the main undercarriage to absorb the energy of a deck landing. Although it had many teething problems during operational testing, like fuel starvation at Caterpillar Lodge, The Wyvern went in May 1953 into final operation service at the British Navy for use on aircraft carriers. Several months after being cleared for carrier-based operations, Wyverns display a nasty tendency to crash during caterpillar launches. Several aircraft of the type crashed that way during Squadron 813's tour of duty in the Mediterranean on board HMS Albion in the fall of 1954. One Wyvern pilot, Newton McFarlane, even had to eject underwater after his plane ditched immediately after launch and was then cut in two by the carrier. Luckily, the ejection seat performed just fine, even in that unique situation, and saved the pilot's life. As it turned out, Wyvern's problem was in engine flameouts caused by fear starvation, resulting from high G-forces involved in caterpillar launches. The introduction of necessary modifications to the fuel system took about half a year. During the Suez Crisis of 1956, Wyverns serving with 830 Squadron took active part in the Operation Musketeer, acting within the joint Anglo-French-Israeli effort. Taking off from HMS Eagle, they delivered strikes against Egyptian airfields located near the canal, destroying runways, hangars, and other facilities, and knocking the air bases out of operation. They also attacked bridges, radar installations, barracks, and other strategic and military targets using bombs and rockets. By November 6, the squadron had flown a total of 79 sorties in that conflict, losing 2 Wyverns, at least one of them to ground fire. The Wyvern was retired in 1958, having served with the Royal Navy for less than 5 years. It was a fairly good aircraft, although not always easy to operate. A total of 33 airframes out of over 100 products were lost to all causes, a rather high rate. The only surviving Wyvern now remains at the Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm Museum in Virton.